What's happening, guys? Icebreaker here. Today we're going to take a look at how you can bring the rain with Rainmakers. I'm going to show you some attack strategies and some defensive strategies, how you can try and counter these guys a little bit and maybe get some intel from those raids that are kicking your butt with no losses. So let's jump in and I'll show you how I take on the Rainmakers. To start off with, this is one of my go-to Proto troop loadouts. Tanks, Rainmakers, boat of medics, which are optional. You can take an extra boat of Rainmakers or whatever, or another boat of tanks with you instead. And then we've got bullet and energy drink. And the trick here with this one is just to drop bullet out front, followed by the tanks, followed by the Rainmakers, and then obviously the medics at the end as well. The general rule of thumb here with this one is to keep bullet out front. He's going to tank all of the main incoming damage. The tanks are then going to protect the Rainmakers a little bit. Okay, so here's another option you got. We've got all Rainmakers with 2 boats of medics. The only reason why I'm taking the boats of medics is because, like I said, I've only got 1 GB statue, so I won't be able to land everything all at once anyway. Okay then, guys, this one is going to be all Rainmakers, a couple of boats of medics, and Kavan second winds. Little trick for you. If on the landing you've got some boom cannons and stuff like this guy has, if you just drop an artillery on it, just like that, it means that when you land the troops, they will automatically target that defense first. They will prioritize damaged buildings over any other to start off with. Spam a second wind, get some rifles out front, just like that. And then it's just a case of keeping stuff shocked, like the rocket launchers, the cannons and boom cannons and all that kind of stuff. To be fair, they outrange pretty much everything, so you don't need to worry too much. It is really just rocket launchers, shock launchers, and boom cannons that are really an issue, but they're not really an issue, if that makes sense. There's a couple of things you can do that will stop them wandering into range of boom cannons and stuff, that I'll show you in just a sec. That will stop them. You know, when you get them all grouped up together and you get 1 or 2 that just like to wander off in front like that. We can stop that happening by spreading out the landing. So, okay, so like I was saying, similar sort of thing with Grens. If you spread them out across the landing, what they'll do is they won't bunch up all tight in tight groups. It's when they're in tight groups like that you'll get 1 or 2 that will just wander off a bit closer to a boom cannon and get picked off. So if you spread them out along the beach, a little bit like this, they won't bunch up quite so much, and you'll save quite a few troops doing that. And we've got second wind on this one again, just to spawn a few riflemen in, just to help distract any boom cannons or anything like that that do turn on the off chance. But you'll see that they'll stay in like a nice straight line for the most part, staying out of range of everything. So spread out that landing. You can use second wind or critters or whatever just for a bit of easy distraction and stuff. The thing we're using Kavan and second wind though is if you take medics, the medics are going to chase the riflemen up front. It's not the end of the world. Medics, pretty useless anyway, just as good as distraction as they are for being medics. So there's that. But yeah, as you can see, they spread out nicely. They stay way back out of range. And yeah, you can pretty much just land them and just let them do their thing when you drop them like that. See, they're absolutely miles away here from this boom cannon. And then, just like I said, just keep spamming second winds and critters and stuff if you really need to. Let's talk about defensive strategies. This guy is clearly switched to a base layout that is for countering this, for countering proto troops and things like that. The trick here is to have the shock launchers on the beach covering both ends, like that, and then you'd have boom cannons. Well, he's actually got doom cannons, but just boom cannons and snipers on the beach is on that very front row there. Boom cannons and snipers and the shock launchers on the beach. What will happen is the shock launchers will overlap and create a shock lock, while the boom cannons, snipers, in this case doom cannons and stuff, will all target on, start picking them off one by one. And if you've got some splash damage in there like he has with the doom cannons, then you'll wreck them pretty quick. That's really, to be fair, the only kind of defensive strategy there is for them. You can add in grapplers and things like that as well, but the grappler is so easy to counter as it is anyway. Having this sort of beached shock lock defense strategy is by far the most effective at getting a few intel, maybe even a couple of 1 or 2 defends from people using all Rainmakers and stuff. So if you find yourself getting hammered by them, give a layout like this one a go. If you find yourself against a really heavy defended beach, kind of like this one, then you can go with all Rainmakers, and you can take Shock Knuckles or Taunt or even Energy Drink to get yourself through it. Won't be too difficult, even with a beach like this. If we put them down, spread them out, like I said. We're going to use Shock Knuckles, but it's unlikely that we'll get to use them, because obviously the Rainmakers do so much splash damage as it is, that grouping loads of defenses up like this is cannon fodder for Rainmakers. They'll just stand on the beach and take everything out with 1 or 2 shots, nice and easy. Like, so don't clump your bases up too much, because you don't want them taking out, you know, hundreds of buildings at once. Equally, you don't want to drop all your Rainmakers in exactly the same spot, because what will happen is they'll all target like the same defense or the same building, and they'll all fire on it at once, and you'll just overkill defenses and buildings, which will ultimately slow down your attack quite a lot. You need them spread out. They do so much damage as it is that you need them spread out to take down multiple buildings at once. If you've got them all clumped up in this one end where you've dropped them far left and they're all shooting on the sniper tower, you don't need them all shooting on the sniper tower, so you're overkilling that defense, and then they're all going to target the mortar, and they're going to overkill the mortar, and it's just going to go on like that. And by having them all spread out, you can take out multiple defenses at the same time, which is ultimately what will make your attack a bit quicker. The one main complaint about Makers is the fact they are so slow. So by overkilling defenses and stuff, you're just slowing down your attack even more. So for combos then, guys, I keep getting asked what's the best combos. I would personally say go with all Rainmakers. If you've got the GBE to do it, all Rainmakers, maybe 1 boat of medics is plenty, and then you take hero, you take bullet, energy drink, or Shock Knuckles. I would personally always recommend energy drink or Shock Knuckles, but if you haven't got bullet, then definitely second wind or ice shield from Kavam. But really, guys, that's really the main points of it. Just go out and experiment, try it out, have some fun with it. We've only got them for 5 more days, so make the most of them. If you're using a different strat, let me know in the comments. Really interested to know what you guys are up to using these bad boys out. Are you looking forward to the other Proto troops? Which one's your favourite? Lasertrons, obviously the best. But yeah, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.